DNA test. It's just straight paperwork. That's why you see like babies getting kidnapped.
We're well past the point where DNA testing is exclusively available to certain people. Now it's commonly available.
We can't really call, we're in a domestic violence dispute. We can call the cops, but a lot of times it's...
I had an episode that almost got beat up a couple times. I treated him like a homeless person, locked myself away.
Child support should be abolished.
Maybe it needs to be revisited. And
I mean, from my perspective, I was on child support for 8 years. If you're not making enough money, it's always going to be tough.
First topic we would like to discuss tonight, mandatory DNA testing for men. Legal rights, and could child support be abolished?
wait, is that like a two-part
It's like
question?
a three-part, it sounds like. So mandatory DNA testing. So you go to the hospital, let's say, woman's having a child, there is a guy there, but may not necessarily be the father. But they assume they still have to sign the paperwork and also.
Well, look, Jay don't got kids, as y'all can see.
Yeah. So I was about to say.
I'm waiting for you to step in.
I was drinking.
It says Keith's story right here. I'm waiting
but
for Keith.
this is all of our story.
You got to set it up.
I'm trying to.
Can you set the stage, Keith?
Yeah, I got you.
So, are you with your baby mama at the moment, Keith, or no?
No, but he's talking about mandatory DNA testing from when we first
but the reason I'm asking is because I'm with my baby mom. I'm married, I still have a viewpoint on this. So I'm curious to hear your viewpoint. I'm going to give you my viewpoint.
I got you. So for me, and Nelson, I know we talked about this off camera. It's like when you have kids with somebody, you basically going off a trust system because, like, honestly, when you go to the hospital and they have the kid, there's no DNA test. It's just straight paperwork. So you filling out paperwork, and once you fill out paperwork, that's your kid, unless you prove otherwise in the future. So I think personally that system is kind of flawed. That's why you see like babies getting kidnapped sometimes and like weird stories. It's because it's really not. It's not really like set in stone. Like you should have, as soon as the kids come out, I don't know if they could do it, but they should have some sort of DNA testing to what mom is coming from.
Of course,
but
it's coming out
from the father. You should definitely have.
I agree. There should be something.
It should be. Everything else is set in stone. The money and everything else. Why not DNA testing?
When your kids were born, did you have any doubt whatsoever that they were your kids, or like you were certain?
No, and that's another issue. See, there's a lot of people that's not certain, and some people that don't know, and that's the problem right there. Because
so you were certain. You were certain. You had no doubt.
No doubt.
Same with me. But even with myself, I'm thinking to myself, I had no doubt. I've been with the same person now at this point.
Yeah.
When my son was born, I was with the same person like 11, 12 years. I had no doubt. And yet I thought to myself, we're in 2016. Technology has advanced to the point where this should just be a standard requirement.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost, like, you think about it. My wife, when she had the baby, $120,000. What's a DNA test when you're already paying $120,000?
It didn't make the board cut.
No, it just don't.
Come on, that doesn't make sense.
No, and that's how I felt, Nelson, too. I was like, when I started filling out the paperwork, I was like, oh, that's it? That's all I got to prove to.
If you think about it, too, like we've heard the crazy stories of and these are very rare. It's probably like getting struck by lightning. We've heard the crazy stories of someone saying 20 years down the road that they found out that their mom and their dad ain't their parent.
Yeah.
Like, come on. We're 20 in the like we're well past the point where DNA testing is it's only exclusively available to certain people. Now it's commonly available.
Well, I actually did do a DNA test. Like, this was not with the mother of my kids, but somebody else.
Recently?
But not at the hospital at the time.
No, but I we both didn't know at that time. This is when I was like way before my kids, but
damn, she didn't know and you didn't know?
Nah, I don't know. I don't think she knew either. But, this nigga Will stupid.
That's a oops. Will knew what he was trying to get to. He's trying to lead.
Listen, hold on. So the fucking DNA test. This was like early 2000s. It was $1,000 some change, bro, for just to know if that's your kid or not. And I think it takes like think it took like a month and some change just to get the results back. You know, I mean, the time ain't that big of a deal, but at least they should have something where it's mandatory, though.
All I know is if you spent $1,000 for a mandatory DNA test,
it was worth
and it was yours, you should be able to write that off.
Yeah. On what?
Taxes? On your taxes, because you're going to be claiming.
I wrote her ass off when it wasn't my kid. I wrote her ass off.
That's the right
like that. Think about that.
I spent $1,000 instead of spending $15, $20 on a future kid. That's not mine.
So I'm good. You that was a really good investment right there. You know.
Yeah, that's
really a good investment.
All right. So
what was the other part of the question?
Men's legal rights.
Men's legal rights.
The best
as far
example I can think of is
you talking about men's legal rights as far as like paternity? Like you talking about like
paternity as well, but then also domestic violence. A lot of times, like for example, who's the actor that just was running away from a girl and he recently got charged?
Megan Good.
Megan Good.
Said Megan Good.
Boyfriend.
Her current boyfriend, yeah.
What's his name?
From my understanding, when he was grabbing his phone from the car and
it's so crazy because he was just in a lot of movies.
Yeah, the guy from Creed.
We just going around just telling us projects. Nobody knows his name.
I don't remember his name, but we know what he's talking about. Jonathan Majors.
Yes. Thank you.
So like Jonathan Majors situation, at least from my understanding. Nelson, you about to say something?
No. He got it. Yep.
Yeah,
Jonathan Majors.
So, for example, which is primarily for Black African Americans, we deal with this issue all the time whenever the cops are called. But in his situation, Black man dating a white girl, he's trying to leave a taxi with his phone, grabbed his phone and tried to get away, but the injuries she incurred from him grabbing his phone back, he was charged for.
Yeah, we all know that story.
But then in general, it brings up a bigger case, whereas we can't really call, if we're in a domestic violence dispute, we can call the cops, but a lot of times we're put more in danger versus the female, and then vice versa as far as I don't know.
No, I understand what you're saying. You're saying like you're in a hard predicament when a female is being aggressive with you. But honestly, this always been my rule. I mean, I'm not even gonna say nothing on this podcast, but this always been my rule, man. You gotta treat a chick like when you about to break up with them, or you know they're gonna get aggressive. You gotta treat her like a homeless person. You gotta run away from her. Don't touch me. Get in your car, roll your windows up, lock your doors, lock yourself in a room, because there's not going to be no excuse for you to touch her, move you away from her. And you know, it's some women that's actresses too. Like, you like stop, and they be like, "Oh my God!" And like, you got to treat them like a homeless person. Unfortunately, like you do.
Do any of you know personally anyone who's been in a domestic, as a male, been in a domestic abuse situation?
Man, I know we all probably had. I know I had an episode that almost got beat up a couple times, but I treated them like a homeless person. Lock myself away. I'm not. You're not gonna get me on no touching you shit. No.
You did the whole get in the car, roll up the window.
Nah, like it was one time I locked my door in the room and that was it. And there was another time she was trying to get me and I like put her in a pretzel. But it was a pretzel it was a safe. It was a restraint. It was a stand up restraint. And
wait, I'm thinking pretzel. What about the legs? The legs
like
are
pretzel. Well,
the top side of the pretzel, or
no, the pretzel like this, like I
understand that. Full Nelson, possibly.
100%.
Hold on. No, we're not gonna. Yo, Jay just tried to entrap me. You saw that, Mario? He said a full Nelson. I ain't saying
anyway.
No, listen, bro. I said, listen. Let's be clear. It was a pretzel. It was a soft pretzel. It wasn't
like
it wasn't the hard pretzel.
I have a follow-up question. Since we started with the mandatory DNA test, talking about men. Do you guys think that men, as it relates to children, and when you're no longer with the mother of the children, do you think men have equal rights or the opportunity to have equal rights for the kids themselves? Or do you think that there's the deck is stacked against the men if they wanted to be sole parent or have shared custody, etc.?
Oh, it's definitely stacked against the men. It's definitely stacked
because you had to go through the situation as far as
so
getting your
trying to say it in a nice way, but
are you a single parent, Keith?
Yeah.
Do you have sole custody?
Not sole custody. I have residential custody.
Sure.
I have residential custody, but what I really want to relay when it comes to men's rights and
but wait, Keith, sorry, do your kids live with you full time?
Yeah, they live with me full time now. They've been living with me for
you're
like
essentially a
4
single
years.
parent, but almost you don't have full custody, but you basically have full custody because they're with you 24/7.
Well, residential custody is sort of full custody, but I don't like saying full custody because I'm not trying to diminish what she does and stuff.
Of course, but at the same time, they're under your responsibility all the time.
Yeah.
Who gets to write off on the taxes? You get to write them off?
Oh yeah, I do. So you know what's so crazy, man? Like I got my kids when they was 8. They're turning 12, and then this goes to men's rights also and the child court. I mean the court system. Mm-hmm. When they first put out paperwork, or the women put you in paperwork trying to put you on child support. There's a lot of men, or in custody too, because it's 2 different cases. There's a lot of men that miss that first thing and think that they could come back later on and make up for missing the first case as far as custody. Mm-hmm. There's no coming back after that. First of all, you're already a male going to child support and going there for custody, meaning it didn't work out. And you know how relationships is anyway. We already gonna get blamed for the default. The failed relationship. Yeah. So if you go in there, you go in there, you don't show up, they give them full custody, then she comes out, she could do whatever she wants to do with you. And then are you mad? You like, I'm the father, da, da, da. They don't have to honor the father shit. I don't know why men think like they got to honor the father. They don't have to. I mean, it would be honorable for them to do it, but they don't have to if you didn't show up. So if you don't show up for your kids and then you try to show up for your kids later on, that's not going to look good to the judge. Oh, and your children have a lawyer themselves, so they got to look into you also.
And the neutral third party.
So you're holding men accountable right now.
I'm not holding men accountable. I'm just telling them what it is. Like the only reason I got custody of my kids because I've been there from the beginning. Like
you went to the first case. That's what I
went to the first case. I've been there from the first cases, and I got a lawyer, and the lawyer put in certain stipulations. That's the only reason I got my kids back. That's the only reason I got residential custody.
Do you feel like when you went to the first case, was it 50-50 as far as...
Bro, it wasn't 50-50 every time I go in there. That's what I'm trying to explain. Yeah. Every time you go in there, like even when they mess up, even when the other party makes a mistake, you're still the problem. Yeah. The children's lawyer is still going to ask you questions. You understand what I'm saying? And, in the beginning...
But wait. When you say that the children's lawyer, they're going to ask you questions, but do you think that it's because they're giving the benefit of the doubt to the other party?
Oh, definitely, Nelson. Or they're not, like, it was times where they was like, they want to check my house, you know what I mean? And not check her. And then, like, they'll make me do a drug test, and she doesn't have to do a drug test. So she could
set a double standard.
Yeah, so I tell y'all a story. So, I smoked weed, and when I was with her, she was we was in the courtroom, and she basically told him like I smoked weed. This was kind of messed my case up. This when weed was really like criminalized and shit, early 2000s, when it was like weed was like cocaine or something. So she said it like out loud, and they allowed her to talk. And then I said, yo, she smoked with me too. And she banged the gavel. I'm like, yo, she can talk and I can't? This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Like, there's no messing around when I go to court, but at the same time, the first court case is the most important. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't make that, you don't care about your kids. That's what they look at it like. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like first appearances matter. And
because honestly, if you had like a not even a felony, a misdemeanor, and you miss court, what they gonna do? They're gonna throw you in jail. You're gonna have to pay the fine. It's the same thing. But I mean, just like do you think black men get treated well when they go to jail? No, they don't go in criminal court. No, so you think that it's gonna change in family court? Yeah, no, it's not gonna change.
No. Well, Keith, with that being said, though, then since it sounds like legal rights also is a bit of an issue, but does it also mean that child support should be abolished?
I know it's gonna be a controversial take. I ain't gonna lie.
Ooh, I like how you
child support.
Nelson, I like how you transitioned.
Nelson said abolish child support.
I don't think.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not in your situation, but I don't.
But I'm curious. Yeah, go ahead, Will.
I don't think that's like a controversial thing. I mean,
wait. Will, do you think it should be abolished or no? Yes or no?
Child support being abolished.
It's tough. I think like maybe it needs to be revisited and reformed.
You're talking like
that is definitely not yes or no.
Like
That's definitely not yes or no.
Everybody, we need to get Will into the office.
Will's running.
ASAP,
Will's running for somewhere.
We don't want a politician answer. We want a yes or no, not in the middle.
I know. Will over here just saying shit. He just saying shit. Like he didn't say yes or no.
You think it should be abolished?
So
there should be accountability, but maybe that.
No, I mean, from my perspective, I was on child support for 8 years. If you're not making enough money, it's always going to be tough. You know what I mean? But it's the mind state. So it's like if you have kids and you have the same job, you got to up your salary. And at that time when I first had the kids and I was on child support, I was pissed just like every other man that's on child support. You know what I'm saying? Like it's money going out your pocket. You can't make certain like real life plans, like as far as getting a house with somebody, little stuff like that, because there's a lot coming out your paycheck. It could be a couple $100s. That could be a lot for a lot of people that's not making a lot.
Does it show on your credit report as well?
No, you don't get no.
No. Like, on your credit report that you owe.
No.
Like it's
I don't know because I never was in the arrears like that.
And Keith, is it before? Is it off the gross or is it after the net? Like how do they take the money?
Well,
I think it's pre-tax.
It's pre-tax. Yeah, it is because it comes out like Social Security. You have no.
Oh, so it's like a garnish of wages. Yeah. Like they just take it. You don't have to give money.
It was times where I switched jobs and I got an income execution. Yeah. It was times, and I know a lot of people know this too. It was times where I had to stop getting direct deposit so I could cash my check. I had to do that for a little bit because I was, backed up.
Take the money. Yeah,
and I was trying to do certain things.
You were struggling.
Yeah,
you would be in a position where you wouldn't be able to do things that are important in your life.
Exactly.
But wait. So with that being said, do you think that it should be abolished, or do you think?
Well, I'm getting to that. So, and this is going to be controversial, but I don't care. I mean. So I was on child support for 8 years. I did all of the juggling and shit like that. Now I'm on the other hand, child support, and my baby moms make the salary.
So you're receiving?
Yeah, I'm receiving child support now.
Okay.
And my baby mom,
extra money I have.
Drizzle.
Got the blueprint.
So hold on. So look,
let me hold.
This is another thing. This is another thing with men's rights. So
let's hold a few dollars.
For 8 years while she had the kids and I was paying child support, I never got one income tax for her. She never went half-seas with me, nothing. Probably the first time because she was living with me and I was paying most of the bills. But ever since then, nothing. I had to. She took all the money, and I wasn't crying about it. I know she got the kids most of the time, but now she crying about it. Like, oh, this is how you should do. I'm like, nah, I got 8 years on you. I got how many? Yeah, I got 4 more years of getting child support. Then we can revisit this because you got 8 years of fucking income taxes.
Damn right.
I'm about to get 8 years.
Damn right.
So. When it comes to child support, I'm not gonna lie. If you're not making like Nick Cannon type of money, child support is not a lot, yo. I'm just gonna say, child support is not a lot. It's a little part of your salary, which is especially now, like when everything is up. But even back then, it's like, I got 2 kids, so people know like if you got 2 kids, you go up in a percentage. So it's still not a lot if you're not making a lot of money. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if you're not making that celebrity type of money, then you shouldn't complain about child support. And I don't think child support should be abolished because when you have those kids, people could turn your back. Like, if I was a different type of person, a different type of morals, I could turn my back on her and just be like, fuck it and fuck the kids.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on, let me finish. I'm almost done. I could just turn my back and be like, fuck the kids and just go on arrears for $50,000. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So you need it. You definitely need child support. My bad, Will.
Nah, I want to know, like, are you saying this just because the tables have turned?
Yeah. That's a fact. Honestly, like I said
on both
before,
sides.
Yeah. When I was paying, like I said before, when I was paying it, I was fucking tight.
Yeah.
I told you like the stuff I had to do. You know what I mean? Then I'm with people, like you gotta pay, like imagine if I'm paying $200-$300, right? And I'm only making, just a little bit over 1,000 and I'm paying child support and paying bills, like something is gonna go broke. I'm gonna go broke. So at the end of the day, it's just like it's a mentality change, especially when you're on child support. So if you're a man or a woman on child support, that mentality got to change. Like you have to double hustle. You know what I mean?
Wait, so then is there let's say, for example, so you don't abolish child support. what would be a better alternative in your opinion? What would be the thing that would make it fair?
So a lot of people they talk about that card stuff, like, oh, I see a lot of men say like, oh, put it on the card and, so you can see what groceries and shit they buy. Yo, bro, when you a busy parent and they working, nobody's going through all the, like imagine you had this money and it was set up just for your kids. It's gonna fall apart one day. You understand what I'm saying? Like if I get $300 and I'm like, well, this is $150 for one kid, $150 for one kid, and then like it goes in your account. You're not gonna be like, let me change the debit card.
I have a counter argument to that, and I'll give you an example. Two examples. I don't know for many people who know like a health savings account at HSA or 529 college savings account.
Yeah.
Whenever you take money out of an HSA to pay medical bills, or whenever you take money out of a 529 college savings account to pay college education, you always have to prove that you're paying
something for college,
or college education.
Yeah.
Why is it not the case that you have to prove that you're utilizing it? And honestly, it doesn't have to be like you have to, in some fashion, that you're proving that it's for the care of the child.
All right, so
why is it not the case that there isn't?
So this is my rebut to that. So there's a lot of times where it's like, maybe that child support she gave me from last week is done. You know what I mean? And I'm in between getting paid in the next week's child support. And I got to pay for, my daughter's school trip. I got to get my son new sneakers. I got to get him a new jersey and stuff like that. So I'm paying money too. So why would I separate it? You know what I mean?
Hey, man, that all counts to me as the care and the upbringing of this child. That counts
That's
to me.
What I'm saying.
But I want you to upload the receipts to the system.
Well, I could upload receipts, but it's like what I'm trying to say is the receipts are gonna surpass what you give me in child support.
Oh, of course.
So if you give me $300, like let's say you give me $300 for every 2 weeks, that's $600 a month, right? My daughter's thing, like. For instance, like if I go food shopping twice, that's $400 right there. I already surpassed you on how much you're gonna pay. You know what I mean? Then $200 for whatever else.
What I think it would do is actually might help the person on the other side have a better comprehension of like what does it really take to raise these children and how much financial responsibility does it take. And actually they may realize, in fact, whatever I'm contributing is only a drop in the bucket relative to the person and what they're contributing. That's not even time. Because think about it, Keith. You are having to spend the time driving to and from.
That too, gas money, everything.
To like be there to care for them. So like the financial side is just one aspect of it. Let's say financial side is maybe a third, 2/3 of it, but then the other 2/3 or 1/3 of it is everything else. That's a lot in there too.
Yeah. So Podcast or Not loves the kids, but we do need to move on.
Yeah.
So